Good evening, everybody, and welcome to high school basketball here on the Aycorp Media Networks. Tonight, we've got a SEMO conference matchup between the 12-4 Jackson Indians, the homestanding Jackson Indians, and the 17-0, ranked number 3 in the state in Class 5, Cape Central Tigers. Our game is sponsored tonight by Wings, etc. Great food, great times, and award-winning wings. Go and visit Wings, etc. in Dexter, Missouri. I'm Jim Riker. I'm joined tonight by longtime Jackson coach Darren Scott. And Coach, big rivalry game, big SEMO conference game, and so far this season, the Cape Central Tigers have beaten Jackson twice, once in the SEMO conference tournament, once in the Cape Christmas tournament. How hard is it to beat a team 3 times, a good team 3 times in one season?
It can be tough, and of course, it depends on how the games went and different things, but, what you find out is, you played them twice, now you play them that third time. Things that worked that first or second time, coaches have watched film, and they've also seen you play. In both cases, both teams played about 16, 17 games, so they know each other well. It's going to be tough. And then you add in another little caveat in this game. You got a packed house. It's a Cape Jackson game.
Right.
Sometimes that makes kids, especially early, those nerves can bother you. And sometimes it can make kids play a little better than they are, or it makes them play a little worse than they are.
Yeah, I think people don't understand what a big rivalry this really is, maybe sometimes.
It is, and for the kids it's big, you're close. Social media, I'm sure, has been alive for the kids back and forth on different things. So the student bodies will be loud, the crowd will be loud, so it'll be an exciting time tonight.
Well, let's just real quick here talk a little bit about Jackson. Their offense will go through pretty much Blaine Harris and Clayton Ernst will be the 2 big guys probably.
Yeah, Blaine has had last game, that second quarter, he kind of brought Jackson back against Cape and gave him the lead, had a really good second quarter. Clayton is just a load. He's finishing, he's played really well this year, scoring well around the rim, finishing well, so those 2 are going to be a key. And
then, of course, for Cape Central, it is Cameron Williams, the big guy in the middle.
Cameron is big, yeah. And then they got, Quell Murray, Jay Reynolds shoots it well, and a lot of options for them.
We're going to take a break here as we have our national anthem, and then we'll be back with the ball game.
For all your banking and financial needs, visit First State Community Bank in one of their Southeast Missouri locations.
If you're in need of legal consultation, visit Mayor Law Office in Dexter, Missouri.
At Wings Etc., we take every one of our wings very seriously. Just like you do, Mr. Dipper, the master of measure, the prince of the poor. We know how you handle our jumbo wings with the perfect combination of urgency and care, just like we do. Your hunger fuels our hunger to rapidly remove the hangry fire in your belly by dousing it with some cool liquid lightning and our thunderous award-winning jumbo wings. Your hangry is always welcome at Wings Etc.
Growing cotton in the Mid-South is hard work. As a farmer, you make tough decisions every day. Choosing a cotton variety shouldn't be one of them. Next-gen brand varieties from Americot are bred specifically for cotton growers like you. We're 100% independent and farmer-owned. Plant cotton that works as hard as you do. Americot. All we do is cotton, all the time.
We are back at Jackson High School. Jim Riker and Darren Scott here. The Cape Central Tigers, the Jackson Indians getting set for starting lineups tonight, Darren. And as we right before the national anthem there, McIntosh and Williams, 2 big kids for the Cape Central Tigers, of course.
Yeah, LaTroy was somebody before the year, he didn't really know that much about, but has played really well for them. Athletic kid, physical, strong inside. He's been a really good player, I think.
So for the Tigers, they're starting like this. Maurice Boyd, a 6'3 senior, will start. Marquell Murney, the 6'2 freshman, phenom, gets a start. Jaden Reynolds, a 6'4 junior, with the start as well. LaTroy McIntosh, the 6'6 junior. And then finally the big guy in the middle will be Cameron Williams, 6'8 and a senior. And lots of, I'm from Dexter. We don't see this kind of size. Lots of size in these games, Darren.
Yeah, with Cape Central, the thing with their size is some pretty athletic kids there with that size also.
And now as they will be the starting lineup for the Jackson Indians as we get set to go. And it could very well be for Jackson tonight, Darren, that it's the ancillary players that can make the difference in the ball game, really.
Yeah, it could. You know, I know in the first game in the SEMO conference tournament, Cape kind of let Clayton go one-on-one. They didn't double him, and they were going to get out on the shooters. You know, so will they stick with that same thing, or will they kind of double Clayton, make him give it up, and then try to close out on the shooters? But that will be a key thing to kind of see what Coach Church decides to do.
So they will start this away with Clayton Ernst, the 6'8" senior. Jackson in their white uniforms. And they make it very difficult for the announcers, don't they, in the dark? Especially an old guy that can't see very well. Wittenborn, I believe, Cade Wittenborn will start as one of the guard spots.
And then Grant Borgfield.
Grant Borgfield, a 6'1" senior, will start at the other guard.
Judd Toma.
Thank you, sir. Judd Toma, a 6'4" junior, will go. And then finally, I believe Blaine Harris, probably a 6'4" junior as well. So those are your starting lineups. Good size for each team, height-wise. But as you mentioned, Cape Central is so athletic this year. They make it difficult.
Yeah, that's what. Cameron Williams was a really good player last year, but I feel like LaTroy, just having another big kid that's athletic, and now all of a sudden it just kind of helps them guard. Like tonight, if one kid gets in foul trouble, they've got another big to guard Clayton.
We're set to go on a big SEMO conference game. And we are set. Here we go. Jackson will win the tip. Winborn with it, kicks it off to Harris. Central in a man-to-man to start the ball game. Left side, they kick it out, Borgfield, and then back to Winborn. Harris jumper from the right side, up and good. 2 for Blaine Harris. Jackson leads 2-0.
That nice little play there. Clayton set in the back pick for Blaine, then he got a little baseline screen and got that little 15-foot jump shot. Kind of going for a 2 instead of a 3 there. You can see that ball go through the rim. I think was a good decision.
Jackson starts man-to-man defense as well. Williams with the basketball, guarded by Ernst, and they kick it back out now to Boyd. Murray inside pass taken away. Loose, and Ernst comes up with it for the Indians. Quickly up the floor, left side. Toma with it. Goes inside, gets bumped, and gets it blocked by Cameron Williams. Out of bounds, and will belong still to Jackson.
Yeah, Joe with a good strong move, and then Cameron came from that weak side, kind of blocked it up top. That's where that size you were talking about makes it tough to finish at the rim.
6'8" in length is tough,
yes.
Isn't it? So, up top, the Winborn in the lane. Harris jump shot, tough one up, and he gets it to go from about 12 foot. 4-0 Jackson. Boyd to cross the timeline. Reynolds now with it, puts it on the floor in the lane, kicks it right side. Murray, the freshman. Good defense, pushing Central away from the basket right now. Boyd loses it, taken away by the Indians. Quickly ahead, Winborn to go up for the layup, left-handed up, missed the shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Boyd. Quickly ahead, that's McIntosh. He picks it up and kicks it back out now.
And length around the rim again. That was a hustle play there, beating the block off the rim.
Murray gets a block, hits the underneath side of the basket, but it'll be touched by Jackson. Out of bounds, will belong to the Tigers.
Yeah, he was attacking there, and then you get in there and Clayton comes to the help. There's not a lot of space to get that up on the rim.
Yeah, even if you're 6'2", when somebody's 6'8" in the size of Clayton Ernst, it's tough to go up against him. Long outlet pass here in bounds. McQuell Murray will take it. Inside. McIntosh shot short, rebound by Toma. Come the Indians once again. Toma with it top behind the three-point line. He directs a little traffic. Kicks it to Winborn. Harris with all 4 for Jackson so far. Ernst gets it. Baseline. Looks. Williams on him. Ernst gets it back down low now. Goes up. Reverse layup shots, no good. Tip, taken down by Murray. Quickly down the floor of the Tigers. Murray, left-handed dribble, takes to the basket. He's going to be fouled on the floor, and it'll be out of bounds to the Tigers.
Yeah, that's where Cole Murray's really tough. When he gets out in transition and your defense is not set, your help side can't get there, it becomes really hard to keep him from getting to the rim.
Got Murray is down, so we'll see what's going on there. That foul, by the way, was on Winborn, his first team foul number 1. 5:27 to go here in the first quarter. 4-0 Jackson. We're going to take a break as they look at Marquel Murray. We'll be back here in 30 seconds on the Aycorp Media Networks.
First State Bank and Trust is more than just products and services. We're there for you for your first paycheck, buying a home, opening a small business, starting a family, or planning to retire, and everything in between. We're the local bank you know and trust for all of your financial needs. Visit fsbtrust.com or stop by your local First State Bank and Trust to explore all of your financial options. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
We are back at Jackson High School. Marquel Murray looked like a wrist issue. He went to the locker room to have it looked at, and Clayton McClard, the 5'8 senior, checks in for him. Losing a little bit of athleticism there and quite a bit of size with Murray out of the ballgame. Hopefully he'll be back soon. And we are set to go. Cape Central with the ball. They trail 4-0. Inbounds to Williams. He puts it on the floor. Goes up against Ernst. Tough shot. Short. No good. Air ball taken down by the Indians. Borgfield up and no good. Tip back up and in, though, by Cade Winborn.
Good follow by Cade. Jackson did a good job getting that in transition, getting a shot up on the rim.
6-0 Indians. Kick right side. McClard for three. He's a shooter. Shot no good, though. Rebound taken down by Toma on a great block out. Kicks it off to Winborn. It's been all Indians so far. To Toma. Jackson will set their offense. Now Harris in the lane, cut off there by Williams, and they kick it back out. Now Harris gets it back. He's a three-point shooter. He puts it up, and it is good. Harris with 7, and it's 9-0 Indians.
Blaine came off a curl there, did a good job not forcing that first shot, and then Jackson did a good job finding him open when he got back, relocated it to 3.
McClard with it. To Williams. Turnaround jump shot up and no good, but he'll be fouled on that. And I believe that's going to go on Judd Toma. We'll see here. And nope, sorry, it goes on Ernst, his first, team foul number 1 on the 2 on the Indians. And Cameron Williams, the 6'8 senior, will go to the line and try to get Central off the snide here with their first points. Rims out, no good. Steven Schneider checks in for Jackson, replaces Grant Borgfield. Williams' second free throw, up and good. First points for the Tigers, 9-1 Jackson. Great move, then a kick out in the lane, spin move in the lane by 3, up off the mark, no good. Long rebound taken down by the Tigers. Shot blocked off the side of the backboard, but Williams runs it down for Cape Central. And he's going to be, that'll be the second one, I believe, on Clayton Ernst real quick on the Indians.
Yeah, that's going to be 2 on Clayton. They're going to get him with the block right there.
So quickly into the ball game will be Gavin Holdman, a 6'4 junior, and Ernst, the 6'8 senior, will take a seat.
Yeah, they've not gotten any success from it yet, but you can tell Cape is they're making a point of effort. They want to get it inside to LaTroy and Cameron.
Rebound by Toma. Winborn brings it up for the Indians. Cut off there nicely by Boyd. Jackson will set the offense up. Toma in the corner, gets it back. Up, blocked by Williams. Saved by McClure, but he stepped out of bounds. It'll belong to the Indians still. Braden Toma checks in for Jackson. He replaces Winborn. 9-1 Jackson, 3:36 to go here in the first. Jackson looks to get it inbounds, does get it inbounds to Harris. Kicks it back out to Toma. He's guarded by McClard. Down the baseline, Toma, he goes up off the glass and good. Judd Toma, nice move.
Good strong move there, got to that baseline side, used some glass, that was a tough move. Good finish by Judd.
McClard with it, picks up his dribble in a bad spot, does give it off to Williams. He's got some size now, loses it, gets it stolen by the Indians. Tried to force a pass back to Williams and it's taken away. Then down court, good catch. Down the lane, there'll be a foul called. That'll go on Maurice Boyd, and that will send Brandon Toma to the line to shoot 2 free throws with 2:57 to go here in the first. Marquel Murray sets a check back in for the Tigers on the second free throw. So his wrist must be, it's like his fingers are taped up a little bit. Free throw, no good by Toma. DeShondre Edwards, a freshman, and Murray, the freshman, both check back in for the Tigers. Second free throw by Toma. Up and off the mark, no good. Rebound out of bounds, will belong to Jackson. Off of Central. Harris will be the inbounder here. A lot of times the inbounder will be the shooter, Darren, so.
Yeah. They're going to run him off a double here. That was a good job by Jay of splitting that screen.
Harris, good move down the baseline. Great pass inside up, no good. Rebound taken down, still loose, and finally comes away. Boyd comes away with it for the Tigers. In the corner, jump shot up and good. 3-point basket by Edwards, and it's 11-4. And now I believe Marquel Murray's got a back issue, so he's going to come out of the ball game, and Tyson Williams will check in for Cape Central for the first time.
That's a big job by Edwards there, coming in fresh off the game as a freshman, got in that corner, knocked down a three, and Cape really needed that at that point right there.
Jackson with the ball with an 11-4 lead, 2:20 to go here in the first quarter. In this SEMO conference matchup of heavyweights. Harris with it. He's got 7 already tonight. Gets it back in the corner. Inside, Judd Toma up and no good. Gets his own rebound. No. Kicks it back out. Harris for 3. Off the mark, no good. Jackson doing a great job on the offensive boards right now. Harris, 18-foot jumper. Good. Blaine Harris for 2. He's got 9, and it is 13-4 Jackson.
Yeah, that time Stephen kept it alive. Judd Toma's done a really good job on the offensive glass on this end for him.
Long 3, Cam Williams off the mark, no good. Rebound taken down by Toma. Central's only 1 basket tonight so far, and that's a 3-pointer by Edwards just a minute ago. Toma with it. Guarded out there by Williams. Judd Toma gets in the corner. Now to Harris. He'll take the jumper, off the mark, no good. Rebounded by Williams. Boyd with it, puts it on the floor, is going to take it all the way to the basket, is going to get it blocked, but I believe they're going to get a foul on Blaine Harris there.
Yeah, he faked the dribble handoff and then took it that baseline side and then was able to get to the rim.
So Darren, how much pressure does Cape feel being undefeated, ranked number 3, do you think? Does that play into it at all?
You know, it could. I mean, I don't know for sure. I'd say more just the fact you're playing Jackson. It's a rival. Jackson did a really good job. You can just see their energy at that start. You know, Cape was a little tight, didn't get any good looks there to start the game.
Yeah, it seemed as if Central's forced some shots up a little bit that they probably didn't want to take quite as much.
Yeah, well, I think they were trying to force it inside, you know, and I thought they got it in there. Now, on the flip side, they kind of went inside. Clayton does have 2 fouls, so even though they haven't scored, you know, they do have that to take away from that, which is a positive for them.
Very true. 13-6, both free throws, good by Boyd. Inside, Borgfield, turnaround jumper up and good. Borgfield just took his man to the basket, and it's 15-6. Cape Central usually very strong defensively, struggling a little bit here in the first quarter against Jackson's offense. McIntosh with it. Jump shot up and off the mark, no good. Oh, strong rebound up and put back up and good by Edwards, the freshman. Great putback.
And he's got 5 of their 8 points right now for him.
Winborn in the lane's going to get out. He does. Gets the ball back now. Harris guarded by Edwards. Good move. Takes it to the basket and gets it blocked. A jump ball will be called, and it'll belong to, I believe, still to Cape Central.
Cape Jackson got the tip.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, Blaine's being aggressive in there, and he had a good move in the first guy. Just didn't have much space there, and then got tied up on the shot.
Cam Williams checks back in for Cape Central. Steven Schneider checks back in for the Indians of Jackson. Maurice Boyd to bring it down. Central try to cut the lead here before the end of the quarter. They're down by 7, 15-8. Inside to Williams. He puts it on the floor and then kicks it out. Boyd right there, back to Williams. He runs it down, tries to go baseline, nothing there, puts his shoulder down, gets it blocked. Blocked by Holdman, but then Central gets it back up, no good, and Williams tips it in. But nope, we're going to call offensive goaltending, I believe, right before the buzzer. So that basket will not count, and we'll go at the end of one. It is Jackson 15, Cape Central 8. We'll be back in 1 minute with the second quarter of the SEMO Conference game. You're watching high school basketball on the Aycorp Media Networks.
Osborne Equipment specializes in all the equipment you need for your office, including copiers, printers, scanners, and fax machines. So if you're in need, contact Osborne Equipment for the best service in the business.
For all your banking and financial needs, visit First State Community Bank in one of their Southeast Missouri locations.
Back at Jackson High School, Jackson leads Cape Central 15-8 at the end of one. Jackson 7 of 16 shooting the basketball. Cape only 2 of 9 so far. And we are set to start the second quarter here. As everybody gets set.
These first 3 or 4 minutes, I think, will be important because they're going to probably keep Clayton out for a little bit longer. Can Cape make, get back in, cut this back, and make it a tie game?
Jackson with it. Luke Talley with it, a 6'4" senior. Dribble picked up, had to go someplace with it, and finally does get it to Holdman. To Talley. Good defense right now by the Tigers. Knocked away, out of bounds, will belong still to Jackson, but good man-to-man there in that first 50 seconds, Darren.
Yeah, really good job. Good job by Jackson being patient. At this point with Blaine and Clayton both out of the game, I think they'd be okay if they have some long offensive possessions.
Three-pointer up, no good. Cam Williams with a strong rebound for the Tigers. He'll bring it up. Central will try to cut into the lead. Harris and Ernst set to check in and Judd Toma, all three for the Indians here at the next dead ball. Up top to Williams. Certainly a mismatch man-to-man there if he gets the opportunity inside. He's trying to work his way in. They double team him though, and they kick it out to Boyd. Boyd's going to be fouled. It'll be on the floor, and it'll go against Gavin Holdman, I believe.
They're going to get him with the block.
It looks like that every time pretty much Cam Williams is touching the ball right now, especially with Ernst out of the game, they're having to double down on him a little bit.
They are. There's at least 3 white shirts right around him ready to go double, and he's not got the ball with any deep paint touches or with just any space to really make a play. They did a really good job taking away his space.
Williams has it up top. He thought about the 3, puts it on the floor against Ernst, trying to draw that 3rd foul. Misses the shot, rebound by Toma. Went right at Ernst, but no foul call, and Jackson with the basketball.
Yeah, I thought Clayton did a really good job using his body, sliding, staying in front. And Cameron actually did have a little bit more space that time to try to attack.
Winborn with the ball up top. Right side to Toma. And knocked away, but Harris pulls it back for the Indians. Toma for 3, good. Judd Toma for 3, 18-8, 10-point Jackson lead. Central has just got to find a remedy offensively here to get something to go down on a shot.
Yeah, they've not found anything at this point, unless it's been in transition or on an offensive rebound where they've just gotten much done offensively.
Williams off the side of the backboard, loses it. Jackson comes away with it. Harris, jump shot from about 16, off the mark, no good. Judd Toma runs it down.
And in Jackson, when they have missed, they've gotten so many offensive rebounds this half.
Inside to Ernst. He turns around, a little jump shot up and good. Clayton Ernst for 2 and it's 28. Jackson. Cape Central's offense is also having to start, it seems like, about 25 foot from the basket, too, Darren.
Yes, they picked it up, and they've not got any deep entries.
This time, Cam Williams gets the lob and gets it to go down, and it's 20-10. And we've got a timeout called by Cape Central. It's going to be a, let's see what it is, 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. So really, when you look at the stats, 9 of 20 for Jackson, about 45% good shooting, but only 3 of 12 for Cape, 25%. And that's attributed, I think, like you said, not getting any deep touches at all.
Yeah, well, and then when Cape's 3 for 12, but Jackson's 9 for 20, but you add in their offensive rebounds. Like they got down 2. I know they've got 3.
More than that, right?
Yeah,
right,
they've got
right.
3 or 4 offensive rebounds. So those missed shots now didn't hurt you at all. So if you're doing on a percentage on points per possession, it would be much higher.
Right.
And I don't know. Cape's gotten 1 offensive rebound. The freshman got 1 and got a stick back.
Right.
And that's the only one I've seen them get.
Right. Yeah, Jackson has been by far the most aggressive on the boards, it seems like, tonight. As you said, they came out with a ton of energy and really been aggressive on the boards.
Yeah, and I think Cape's got to figure out, with Marquell being out, he's been kind of their point guard, handle the ball, attack a little bit, get him into offense, and they're going to have to come up with a solution with him out of how they're going to get into offense a little bit better.
Winborn with the ball in the backcourt, guarded by Williams. Right-handed dribble, kicks it off to Harris. Little weave up top for the Indians. And more drives down baseline, knocked away. It'll be a foul, I believe, called there on Tyson Williams.
Yeah, he got a little reach in there on the drive.
So Jackson will have the basketball. Only the second team foul on the Tigers. 4:39 to go before the half. 20-10. Jackson with the lead. Winborn with it up top to Harris. Inside to Ernst. He gets position on Cam Williams. He misses. He gets fouled on the second time. Oh, travel call. Walked before he got bumped, and it's a turnover, and it'll belong to Cape Central.
Yeah, on both ends here, if you're going to finish around the rim, you're going to have to go up strong.
Yes, you are.
There's not going to be any gimme baskets around the rim.
And that's the way you want with two strong teams like that. That's sort of the way you'd like to see the game played, I would think, a little bit. Jump shot up and good by DeShondre Edwards. Playing very well, the freshman is.
He came to play tonight, that is for sure.
Schneider with the fake and the jump shot from 12 foot. We talk about it all the time, Darren. The jump shot's sort of a lost art. If you can do that, it's a great piece of your arsenal.
Yes, and that's something. Stephen has given them 5 points in this quarter. He's hit a 3. He shot fake and got to the rim there. Not got to the rim, sorry. Got a little pull-up. That's huge. If he can score like that, like you talked about earlier, some of these other guys scoring for him making a play like that is big.
Turnover by the Tigers once again. Up the floor is Winborn. Kicks it out right side to Snyder. Inside to Ernst against Williams. Ernst, good move up off the glass, no good. Rebound taken down by Edwards. Kicks it out to Boyd. Good defense there by Williams. And he goes up, misses the shot, point blank, and Ernst with the rebound. Down the floor to Toma. Gathers himself and goes up good. Timeout by the Indians as they lead 24-12 with 3:06 to go here before halftime. And once again, we'll keep it here. So, not the way I figured it started exactly.
Yeah, well, and Cape's got to figure out a little offensively. That time did a great job. Cam got out, ran the floor, had a mismatch, and then still missed that shot right at the rim. It's going to be tough for them to score if they're going to miss shots like that. So,
the other thing that I've sort of noticed, Jackson's not let Cape Central do much from the three-point line either.
No, they've gotten out. They got the left-handed, the freshman got the 3 in the
Edwards,
corner.
right.
And that's the only 3 that they've got. Well, they got one other one over here.
Right.
So they're 1 for 2 from 3.
Right.
Everything else has been in that little 10-foot area right inside.
And Jaden Reynolds, I think, is typically their three-point shooter. Is that one of their three-point shooters? Is that correct?
Yes. I would say if you're going to pick one, he would be the guy that's most likely to take the 3 for him.
All right. 24-12, Jackson leads, 3:06 to go before the half here. Said the SEMO Conference matchup. Central is 17-0 coming in tonight. is struggling offensively, primarily because of the Jackson defense. McClard with the ball for the Indians, the 5'8 senior for the Tigers. Kicks it back out to Edwards, who's had a really nice game. Into Williams, guarded up and good. And oh, going to be called for a travel. Good call there. Tried to go up against Holdman and moved his feet first, and that's a turnover. So Jackson with the ball back. Toma up top. Screen set for him. They jump him, though. To Holdman out in the corner, guarded by Williams. Judd Toma on the floor to the basket, up and rims out, no good. Edwards with the rebound.
Good strong move, though. Got to his left hand there. I thought he was going to finish that. Still a good move.
Williams with it, 18 foot from the basket. Pulls it out, decides against it, and gives it off to Edwards. Edwards steps back, three, off the mark, no good. Out of bounds, and it will belong to Cape Central. This freshman class of Cape Central is strong, strong, and strong.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost Marquell, but Edwards has come in now and has been their best offensive player this half so far.
McIntosh checks back in. We haven't seen much of him tonight or heard a lot of him. He catches the inbounds pass, kicks it to McClard. Up top to Mateo Rivers. He's in the ball game for the Tigers. Right side, McClard. Williams puts it on the floor, goes in lane, gets fouled this time on a shoot two, and I believe that'll go on Holdman. We'll see for sure. And that is 2 on Gavin Holdman. So 2 on Holdman and 2 on Ernst.
Yeah, that could be these. Well, 1:53 left in the half. If they can get to the third, get to the end of this half with only 2, you're still not really in foul trouble. But it does make it, if Clayton or him pick up that third one early in that third quarter, it makes it a little dicier.
Williams with the free throw. He's got 4 now on the evening.
Yeah, but I would say if Cape is going to get back in this game and have a chance to score, they're going to have to find a way to get him going and get him offensively playing well.
So 10-point lead for Jackson as both free throws are made. Just about 1:50 left to go before the half. Braden Toma with it. Kicks it out now to Judd, his brother. And they'll reset some offense. Trying to get Harris open, but Boyd doing a great job defensively on him.
Really good job that time of face guarding.
He finally got the shot off, and then the offensive rebound put back by Holdman. Great job of defense. That's got to be frustrating for a team when you play that good of defense and then a little tip out like that gives you a basket.
Yeah, they're doing a much better job of keeping tight to Blaine, not letting him have any space.
Williams.
It's going to be 3 on Gavin.
Yep, fouled on the floor, and that'll be a 1-and-1 on the for Williams, I believe. That's the 7th team foul. And that will bring Luke Talley into the ball game.
Yeah, I can see. I don't know what Coach Church said to him or if Cameron just decided, but he's decided I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive. I'm going to try to make something happen.
Going to the basket the last 2 times down the floor. He'll shoot the 1-and-1. Free throw up and no good. Rebound taken down by Lally. Toma with it up top. Harris with it. He's had a good night offensively for the Indians so far. Jackson being very patient offensively here. Toma drives down the baseline, gets cut off there, then goes up off the glass. No good. Rebound by Williams.
Got a little bit under, just didn't have an angle to get back up and get that shot off the rim.
Williams takes it into the lane. Shot short, no good. Rebound by the Indians. 25 seconds to go before the half. Screen set, and Toma will run some offense. They get it into Judd Toma. He goes up against McIntosh, no good. Ball's loose. Williams comes away with it with 12 seconds to go. McClard. Kick out.
Charge.
And we're going to have a charge call, exactly right. Charge on Maurice Boyd with 5 seconds to go before the end of the half. Jackson will get one last chance to put some points on the board here as they lead by 12.
Yeah, that kind of talked about what you did later there. They drove it, kicked it. Boyd had the wide open three, passed up that wide open three, drove right into a charge.
Second foul on Boyd. And that brings Jaden Reynolds back in. 5 seconds to go before the end of the half. See if they can get a shot off. Winborn's going to try. He does. Air ball, and we're at the end of a half. It is Jackson 26, Cape Central 14. We'll take a break, hear from our sponsors, and we'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes with some statistics in the second half. You're watching high school basketball on the Aycorp Media Networks.
For all your banking and financial needs, visit First State Community Bank in one of their Southeast Missouri locations.
If you're in need of legal consultation, visit Mayor Law Office in Dexter, Missouri. Juju Promotions in New Madrid is your one-stop shop for all your personalized merchandise. Whether it's screen printing, embroidery, promotional products, heat presses, or decals, we've got something that will suit your needs. So you, your school, or your business will always be looking its best. There's tons to see, from apparel to accessories. So what are you waiting for? Stop into Juju Promotions today in New Madrid, Missouri. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. Osborne Equipment specializes in all the equipment you need for your office, including copiers, printers, scanners, and fax machines. So if you're in need, contact Osborne Equipment for the best service in the business.
Entrusting us with your health care is one of the greatest compliments our patients and the community give us.
Thank you, Dr. McFerrin and the entire team at Southeast Health for getting me back on track.
Thank you, Eric, for placing your trust in our dedicated team. At Southeast Health, we have so many reasons to be grateful to our community and the patients who have chosen to place their trust in us. Southeast Health, always by your side.
First State Community Bank has been named the #1 bank in Missouri by Forbes, and we think they might be onto something. When it comes to banking, we've always said that people should come first, and we hold true to that idea. Opening an account has never been easier. You can even do it online. We want our community to thrive, and that's why we put it in our name. So come bank with the certified best at First State Community Bank, serving our community because it's who we are.
At Focus Bank, we believe in really free checking. What does that mean? Well, opening an account requires no more than $25 with no minimum balance requirements or monthly service charges. You'll also have access to online and mobile banking, online bill pay, direct deposits, mobile deposits, automatic payments, e-statements, a nationwide network of ATMs, and an instant issue debit card, all for free. Your first order of checks is on the house, and you'll also receive a complimentary thank you gift. Come visit us in Sykeston, Charleston, Crothersville, or East Prairie. Focus Bank, simple, hassle-free checking that's really free.
Mathis Funeral Home of Dexter and Bernie strives to provide their community with the accommodations and services needed to relieve your family during times of loss. For more information, give them a call and see how Mathis Funeral Home can help meet your expectations in celebrating your loved ones.
For over 100 years, Stoneville Cotton has helped farmers stay strong and win their growing seasons, delivering protection against key weeds and insects to maximize their yield potential. For more information, visit our website. Stoneville Cotton, own the early.
If you feel like you never get the time you need with your insurance agent to find the right coverage, it might be time to make a change. Tyler Miller of Flatland Ag Insurance in Clarkton works to make sure, each and every day, that his clients feel they are taken care of. With years of experience in crop insurance in 4 states, he strives to provide you with the exact coverage you need for your specific situation. For more information, give Tyler a call at 573-276-8044. Here's to another great year.
Growing cotton in the Mid-South is hard work. As a farmer, you make tough decisions every day. Choosing a cotton variety shouldn't be one of them. Next-gen brand varieties from Americot are bred specifically for cotton growers like you. We're 100% independent and farmer-owned. Plant cotton that works as hard as you do. Americot. All we do is cotton, all the time.
Does your business need, literally anything? When we founded C&S Cleaning Supply, our goal was simple. Become a one-stop shop for anything and everything your operation might want. From car care to condiments, mops to markers, soaps to staplers, and everything in between. Which is a lot. C&S has got you covered. Give Delane Beckwith a call at 573-217-0104 or visit cscleaningsupply.com to get set up with, well, literally everything. Tell them Delane sent you.
We're for agriculture, for growers, doers, whatever it takers. We're for doing things with purpose. We're for the little guy with big guy dreams. We're for agriculture. We're for you. Nutrien Ag Solutions, leading the field.
If Moreland's not on the back of your vehicle, you paid too much.
We are back at Jackson High School, 26-14. Jackson with the lead here at halftime, and Jim Riker and Darren Scott with you. And Darren, the fact that Marquell Murray was out certainly affected Cape Central's offense in that first half.
Yeah, because those other games, he's been their point guard, kind of like their offensive set. He gets them in the offense, can drive it. When he goes out, now they've got to readjust and figure some other things out. So I think the second half is going to be key is, what little tweaks can they make? Because, at this point you can't change a lot, but you can change a little bit. So hopefully they've got to get some more penetration against Jackson and be more aggressive against their defense in that half court.
Central only 4 of 17 shooting the ball, so below 25% in the first half. Jackson 12 of 31, so they're shooting right at 40%. 26-14, foul trouble a little bit for Jackson. You've got Gavin Holman with 3. You've got Clayton Ernst with 2. So a little bit of foul trouble there inside, but Cape Central's really not capitalized on it during that time.
No, at this point, you wouldn't even call it foul trouble. Now, if they get a third one early in this third quarter, that could be an issue. But if they don't pick one up and they play, that foul, them sitting didn't hurt them at all. They'll take that 12-point lead with Clayton sitting, what he said, probably 8 minutes that first half, maybe?
Right. So as a coach, as a former coach, if your team had the lead like that and you got a kid like Ernst with foul trouble, would you sit him longer as long as you continue keeping that lead about the same?
Well, the downside is, and I heard an old coach say this, sometimes you sit a kid, like at this point, 2 fouls to me is not foul trouble. Now, if he gets 3, you got to make a decision. But the problem is you could sit him, and then, he's not going to foul over there, but he might play the next 4 minutes and not foul, and now you lost that offensive production. And then he ends the game with 3 fouls. So it's kind of a coach's call and kind of how it's going, but I would think if he picked up his third early with a lead, they would sit him.
Murray is back for Cape Central. He drives the basket, misses the shot. Ernst with the rebound. See if that makes a difference with Murray back for the Tigers. They are putting some full court pressure on.
Yeah, now he didn't finish that, but even right there, he got to the rim a little bit, and just caused, got into that paint.
Winborn with it to Toma. Central's extending the defense a little bit and trying to, looks like, be a little more aggressive defensively as well.
Yeah, you can see they've tried to pick up their defensive pressure.
Harris misses the shot, but that's because he was fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
He did a really good job curling off that screen there, and then when he caught it, they were trying to chase him and stay in his hip, and then when he caught it, they couldn't stop, and he went up and they got that foul. That was a really good play by Blaine.
And that's the third one on Maurice Boyd, the 6'3" senior guard for the Tigers. Free throw by Harris is good. He's got 10 tonight, leading the Indians, and they lead by 13, 27-14.
Yeah, and those first ones were so early. I thought they were key. They got Jackson off to such a good start in that first quarter.
Makes them both. You mentioned before the game, he's the kind of shooter that he can really get on a streak and get hot.
Yes, it's, and I feel like, I'm sure that was their goal. Second quarter was much better, but you got to try to stay in, you can't give him any space. Because if he gets one to go now, if he gets in a flow, he can really get to the rim and he can cause some issues.
Murray misses the layup. 2 in a row he's missed coming down. Jackson with the ball. Knocked away, out of bounds, and that's going to be a foul. Good call by the official there. That's going to go on Toma as he got it knocked away. He sort of grabbed Boyd, and it'll be Jackson's ball, Cape Central's ball out of bounds.
Yeah, in that case, on that turnover, that wasn't a bad foul by Judd because Boyd was going to probably get out and get in for a chance for a layup, so now they'll have to go against their half-court defense.
Only first foul on Judd Toma. Murray with the ball. He's guarded by Winborn. Top to Boyd, in the corner to Murray. Jackson still in a solid man-to-man defense that they played pretty much all night. Central with the basketball. Boyd drives down the baseline. He's cut off. He gets it to Williams. A little jump shot up and good. Cam Williams good on a nice feed from Maurice Boyd.
Much better job of Cape that time. They got a little side to side, and Boyd got into the paint, was able to find Cameron where that's the first time he's got a shot 6 feet with no one around him.
Screen set. Winborn with it. Thought about the 3. He will take it. It's up. It's short. No good. Rebound, no. Judd Toma. Another offensive rebound for the Indians.
Judd has done a really good job on the offensive glass tonight.
Yeah, he's sort of been an unsung hero so far for him. I agree.
He's about, 6'4", really athletic kid. And he's just done a really good job being relentless, keeping that ball alive like he did right then.
Harris crossover dribble, loses off his foot, but it bounces right out to Borgfield. And they'll reset again with a 12-point lead, 28-16. Neither of these teams you would consider to be offensive, probably juggernauts, but both stronger maybe defensively. And the shot falls for Winborn, though, Coach. Real strong defensive teams, I would think.
Both teams, I think, do a really good job in the half-court defensively.
Murray with it, tries to go inside, threw it away, out of bounds, past LaTroy McIntosh. It'll be a turnover on the Tigers. Steven Schneider checks back in for the Indians, who lead by 14.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about Central trying to up their schedule going down the stretch, and I'm sure that's one of the things that Coach Church wants is to go against some teams, so their half-court offense really has to go against some teams like this, some teams that are good defensively athletic, so they can be a lot better half-court defensive teams.
Cade Winborn drives into the lane and gets fouled and goes to the line to shoot 2, and I believe that's going to be number 4 on Maurice Boyd for the Tigers. And it is. Second team foul on Cape this half. Yeah, they've upped their schedule to Simeon out of Chicago will be, that's up in your schedule a little bit.
Yes.
Those are the big boys there.
Yeah, I don't know who they have this year, but I know they're going to be pretty good.
Right. I think I saw the other day they're number 6 in the country or something right now, so they'll be pretty good.
They're going to be pretty good,
I'd say.
There's probably, even when they're not very good for them, I'm sure they're still really good.
Right. Ty Edwards checks back in as both free throws are made, and Jackson has doubled Cape Central 32-16. Murray tries to take it to the basket, does off the glass, and no good. Rebound taken down by Snyder. He brings it up for the Indians. Bounce pass to Ernst. He'll take about a 12-foot jumper. It's going to be short, no good. Williams with the rebound for Cape Central. Ahead to McIntosh. He goes up.
Well,
it's going to be a blocking foul, I believe. And will go on Blaine Harris. Should be his second. And will send LaTroy McIntosh to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Blaine was trying to step in, and that's one of those borderline 50-50, but I felt like they got it right. He was catching it, and Blaine was kind of on the move and then got there. Thought that was a pretty good call. Tough call.
And that's always a tough call. It's so close always, you know. McIntosh with the free throw. Cape has shot free throws pretty well. They're 6 of 8 tonight. And I say that, the announcers curse, they're 6 of 9.
Yeah, but that's his first points of the game.
Yeah, that's surprising for sure.
Yeah, and for Cape, you know, if you say like, all right, we're not going to shoot it well, we kind of need him to get an offensive stick back, get something done on the glass.
Tried to get it inside, get it right back up. Shot's no good. Rebound taken down and taken back by Judd Toma, but blocked. They give it to Ernst, and he's going to be called for an offensive foul, and that'll be his third. If he hadn't dropped the shoulder, I think he'd have been okay, probably.
I'd say the drop the shoulder is what got him.
That'll be his third, and that will bring Gavin Holdman into the ballgame, who played well in the first half for the Indians.
Well, I will say this. They won. They took away the basket by Cameron on saying it was goaltend tip-in. The officials might have missed that goaltend on Edwards, and I think they might have missed it for the same reason everybody in the gym. I don't think anybody knew he was going to get up that fast.
Right. I would agree. Fast. He really did. And high.
Yes.
And he takes a three from the corner. It's good. Ty Edwards been the star for the Tigers tonight. He's got another three, and it's 32-20. Into the lane up. Great move there by Steven Schneider for the Indians.
He's had a really good game tonight.
Got up and good that time by Jay Reynolds. And it's 34-22. Both teams starting to heat up a little bit offensively.
Well, both teams are now getting into a flow. Seeing a few shots go in. They're playing a little more confident offensively now than they were early in the game, especially for Cape Central in particular.
Harris open for three from the top of the circle. It's good. Blaine Harris with 14. And it's 37-22. Central sort of beats Jackson down the court, but they get back fairly quickly. Cam Williams jump shot, rims out, no good. Rebound taken down by Toma. Went in and came back out. Ahead to Harris. He pulls it back out, and they'll reset the offense. It was a 15-point lead.
Yeah, a good look by Cameron, but then once again, Cape has not found a way to get anything to do on that offensive glass.
Into the lane, up, no good. Tip taken down and be knocked out of bounds by Holdman. It belonged to the Tigers. You're right. I don't know if Coach Toma discussed in particular defensive rebounding, but they've done a fantastic job, Jackson has tonight.
Yeah, they have. And like that time, that shot went up, and there was no black. There was one on this side, but LaTroy was starting to go backwards instead of crashing on that one.
Inside to Williams, tough catch, goes off his hands, out of bounds, and we'll stay with Central, I believe. Sort of right here below us, a little tough for us to see from our vantage point, but Central will have the basketball as they trail by 15, 37-22. Key inbounds, jump shot up, short, no good, tipped, out of bounds, and will belong to Cape Central. Will go off of Holdman.
And that's the first one this half, at least like there. Cameron got a hand on it, was kind of kept it alive, and ended up getting them not an offensive rebound, but another possession.
Up top to Reynolds. Edwards with the spin move, is going to drive into the lane, going to go up and be fouled and make the basket, and that'll be the third one on Blaine Harris.
Well, I would say this tonight. If you came into the game and said freshman phenom, you would have said Quell Murray. But if you had never watched Cape Central play, you would have left saying like, hey, this Edwards, he's a really good player.
Yeah, and he is a really good player. And you're right, he has been fantastic. He's got 10 now and really has kept Cape Central somewhat in the ballgame.
Yeah.
Toma timeout by Jackson. They're going to take a full timeout. We're going to take one as well. It's Jackson 37, Cape Central 25. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on the Aycorp Media Networks.
At Focus Bank, we believe in really free checking. What does that mean? Well, opening an account requires no more than $25 with no minimum balance requirements or monthly service charges. You'll also have access to online and mobile banking, online bill pay, direct deposits, mobile deposits, automatic payments, e-statements, a nationwide network of ATMs, and an instant issue debit card, all for free. Your first order of checks is on the house, and you'll also receive a complimentary thank you gift. Come visit us in Sykeston, Charleston, Crothersville, or East Prairie. Focus Bank, simple, hassle-free checking that's really free.
Jackson High School, Jackson leads 37-25 over Cape Central, and And Darren, we were talking there during the break about the fact Blaine Harris has picked up his 3rd foul, and that creates sort of a defensive conundrum a little bit for Coach Toma.
Yeah, they put Blaine on him on Edwards there. I think trying to have a little more length, to try to guard him better. And now it's going to be kind of dangerous if they keep him on there, just from the standpoint that now he's being really aggressive. You put Blaine susceptible to get that 4th foul. So they're going to have to move someone else off on Edwards, I believe.
It's always interesting, the game inside the game a little bit, okay, now what do I do? Do I make an adjustment here? How do I go about that exactly?
Yeah, there's always those adjustments, and there's always those things going on that you got to think about. And the other thing is, how well can your players make those adjustments?
Long 3, no good. Williams with the rebound. Yeah, it's one thing to say him, it's something else to accomplish it. You're exactly right.
Yeah, it's a good adjustment to make. And then the other thing is the kid's got to do a really good job making that adjustment.
Tally now is on Edwards, looks like, as Harris is out of the ball game. Reynolds with it, kicks it back to Edwards. Now to Murray. Williams hooked up inside, makes a one-handed catch, puts it on the floor, and is going to be fouled. There was a battle going on between Steven Schneider and Cameron Williams right there.
They were so Gavin, they once again, as you talked about now, especially without Clayton in the game, there's always going to be two white shirts around Cameron.
Foul was on Luke Talley, his first, team foul number 5 on the Indians. 1:46 to go here in the 3rd quarter. They get into Williams. Holman on him, he goes up, and it's good. And a foul's going to be called, I believe, and if that's the case, that's on Holman. That's his 4th, I believe. It is his 4th, team foul number 6, so all of a sudden a 10-point game. Holman with 4 and Ernst with 3 for the Indians.
Yeah, that's for Gavin. He's doing a good job trying to be physical on Cameron, but when you don't have the size that Cameron has, then when he turns to go to the basket, you're laying on him, and it turns into a foul on you.
Cross. Schneider kicks it out right side. Long 3 up. Holman no good. Rebound. Judd Toma on the offensive boards once again.
He is making a living on an offensive glass tonight. This is where he likes to make his moves.
In the lane, no good, blocked, but Talley comes away with it. He puts up the jumper, sort of flat, no good. Offensive board, and we're going to have a foul called, and that will go on, I believe, on Jadon Reynolds.
You are correct.
And that will be the 3rd team foul, his first 3rd team foul on the Tigers.
Yeah, the Capes got it down to 9, and this last minute 16 is going to be critical. If they get a stop here, come down and score and get a stop, that's a big, if the other Jackson score here, don't come down and score, and Jackson scores at the end, that's a huge minute possession here, or minute part of the game.
Toma with it, drives inside, gets cut off there nicely. Ernst from about 17, off the mark, no good. Rebound taken down by the Tigers. Quickly out of there is Edwards. Gives it inside, up, great catch right there. Shot is good by McIntosh, and he'll go to the line to shoot one on a great assist by Ty Edwards.
Yeah, he knew that Troy had the size. He just knew if I throw it over to the rim, he's going to get it. And then Troy did a great job of not going quick, went back to the middle, and then was able to get an and one.
Fouls on Judd Toma, his 2nd. And we've got a 7-point game, and now back in the ball game here, Blaine Harris sort of rolling the dice a little bit with 52 seconds left, but they certainly want his offense in the game.
Yeah, I'd say right now, they've cut it. They could cut it to 6. If you come down and don't score, let them come down and cut it to 4 or 3. Even now, you've made it to 1-possession game. This is a critical point in the game, I believe, right now. I would have put him back in also.
Short, no good. Rebound by Ernst. Kicks it out, and Winborn will bring it up for the Indians. Back out, Judd Toma puts it on the floor, tries to drive inside, cut off there nicely. Winborn for 3, off the mark, no good. Rebound taken down by Edwards. He gets it ahead, up and blocked, no good, but it'll be a foul called, and that will send Reynolds to the line to shoot 2. That foul went on Judd Toma. That's his 3rd, yep. Team foul number 8.
And that's another one right there. As the official, it's a tough call because Judd does kind of go up, but he's jumping into him on that layup. He doesn't really have a great angle. I'd say in high school they're calling that a foul 85% of the time. Yeah. But no coach likes it when you call that foul on your kid because you feel like he was going straight up.
Yeah, that's one I always struggle with too. Is that the straight kids do go straight up, and I feel like if somebody jumps into them, they still get the foul call on them, and that doesn't seem quite right.
It does happen a lot, And then of course, if you go straight up but you jump into him a little bit, now you're moving forward. So there's a lot of play in there for officials to try to figure out.
Murray with the bump, and he'll be called with the foul. That'll be the 4th one on the Tigers, his first. Central was down by as much as 16 at one point, has cut it to 5 with 25 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter.
I said that last minute would be important, but I'll be honest, I didn't think there were going to be this many possessions.
Yeah, there's been a number of them. You're exactly right.
The way the game had went, I thought, well, this is going to turn into a long possession for somebody, and on the flip side, it's going up and down quite a few times.
Harris to inbounds. I would assume they might try to run something. Oh, nice inbounds, up and good, and a foul. Steven Snyder, as you mentioned earlier, having a great game and gets a good look on the inbounds and gets fouled.
Just caught his guy sleeping a little bit on that backside and made that cut. That was a really nice cut, good pass. Caught it to him on time and a good finish.
McIntosh with the foul, his first. And that was huge, as you talked about here in the last minute. That's huge to get that lead back up to potentially here and up to 8 points. Murray brings it down for the Tigers. They have a chance to cut it to 6 or 5 right here before the end of the half. They'll play for 1. Murray puts it on the floor. Winborn with good defense, and they kick it. Edwards gets it. Finally kick it out. Somebody's got to put it up. They do. Shot is up at the buzzer. No good. So we're at the end of 3, and it is Jackson 40 and Cape Central 32. We'll take a break. Be back with what I believe is going to be an exciting 4th quarter here on the Aycorp Media Networks.
If you feel like you never get the time you need with your insurance agent to find the right coverage, it might be time to make a change. Tyler Miller of Flatland Ag Insurance in Clarkton works to make sure, each and every day, that his clients feel they are taken care of. With years of experience in crop insurance in 4 states, he strives to provide you with the exact coverage you need for your specific situation. For more information, give Tyler a call at 573-276-8044. Here's to another great year.
We're for agriculture. For growers, doers, whatever it takers. We're for doing things with purpose. We're for the little guy with big guy dreams. We're for agriculture. We're for you. Nutrien Ag Solutions, leading the field.
Back, Jackson leads Cape Central 40-32 as we get ready to start the 4th quarter. Darren, a name we didn't even begin to talk about in the pregame show, Steven Snyder, 10 points and has played a huge part for this Jackson Indian team tonight.
Huge, and those buckets right there were huge. Those 3 points right there were a big 3 points for Jackson.
Jackson
you got
has,
8. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it. They were up 8, and you're right. And then they get the ball to start the quarter, so they're a chance to extend that even.
Yes.
But then they turn it over. Williams with it. He gets it knocked away, but it goes right to Murray.
We talked about this, and Murray has not finished at the rim, but that 3rd quarter he did attack and get into the paint some, which kind of loosened up Cape on their offense, I felt like.
Edwards with it, freshman who's had a great night for Cape Central. Kicks it out to Boyd. Boyd's cut off there nicely by Toma. Jackson with a little bit of foul trouble. Knocked away, good pass out there. They get it back, jump shot up and good. That is Reynolds with the 3, and it's 40-35.
That's his first 3 of the night, I believe, and that was a big one for him right there.
He's now got 10, as well as Edwards and Williams, all with 10. They've got 30 of the 35 for the Tigers. Inside to Ernst, guarded by Williams. Back door to, and blocked. Toma gets it blocked. He thought he had it gone, and it was blocked. Then into the corner. Edwards for 3. Good. Oh, rims out. No good. Reynolds with the rebound. That went all the way down. Then Reynolds with it. No good. And Williams is going to be called with the foul, I believe. No, are they going to call that on Ernst, possibly?
I think, because Cameron went up and had the ball in the air, and then Clayton fouled him.
Gotcha. So that will send Williams the line to shoot the 1-and-1. I don't know that the shot that Edwards shot could go any lower into the basket and not go all the way through.
But that's, it's just funny how we were on. Judd's still done a great job with offensive rebounds. We're on Cape. Hey, you're just not getting second shots. And then boom, all of a sudden 2 in a row there. And then Edwards, who not really looked to do much the whole game, hits a three, and then he had to go hard to get behind that kid, and he wanted to take that shot.
Shot no good by Williams to try to cut that lead. That was the 4th foul on Ernst, and Holdeman came back in for the Indians. Borgfield up top to Harris, who curled off a screen. Tipped, loose on the floor, still loose. And then that'll be out of bounds on the Tigers, as Murray was out of bounds or ran out of bounds and came back in and touched it. You can't do either one. So.
Yeah, he can't be the first one to touch it. That was a good call by Darren right there.
Sure was.
And that's a tough call to make right there, all on the fly, like when you're moving like that.
On the fly, right in front of the Cape Central bench on top of it. That's a tough one. You're right. But Jackson is a good call, and Jackson has the ball here. 40-35. Full court pressure by the Tigers in their man-to-man. Winborn gets jumped, double teamed up top. Gets it back. Toma with it. Trap him for a moment and then kick it. He kicks it off to Borgfield. Oh, wide open inside Holdeman. 12-foot jumper, long, air ball, no good. Edwards with the rebound, tough play. Boyd gets it, manages to save it, as does Central. Williams gets it back. He's gonna go to, we got a player down. Boyd, I believe, is down on the floor. They get him back up.
On that play right there, Edwards got the rebound. I don't know if it was a great advice pass, but somehow he bounced it where Boyd could kind of get to it. Boyd chucks it over, and somehow Murray comes up with it, throws it back to Cameron. I thought the ball was lost like twice, and somehow they came up with it.
And really lost a dunk right there from Williams. He goes to the basket this time, shots no good. Loose taken down by Snyder once again of the Indians. He's gonna go all the way up and no good. Tip, just out, and rebound by Murray. Head to Boyd, to Williams. It'll be tipped. They'll be out of bounds off of Holdeman, and it'll belong to the Tigers as they trail by 5, 40-35. Trying to keep an undefeated season alive here in Jackson.
They've definitely shown a lot more life here in this third quarter.
Williams gives it out, gets it back. Little hook in the lane, up and good. Just took Holdeman to the basket. As you mentioned earlier, he's just so much physically stronger and thicker. He can do that. Snyder's going to be fouled. And that'll go on the floor. That'll be, I believe, on Boyd, and that'll be his 5th if that's the case. We'll see if that's who it was. That is Maurice Boyd's 5th, and he'll be done for the evening. 16 foul on Cape Central. So Tyson Williams will check in his spot.
Yeah, we'll see. He didn't play that third quarter, but when he came in that second quarter for him, I felt like he did some positive things, kind of attack. They may lose a little bit. Maurice, I thought he did a really good job defensively that second half. Having to face guard Blaine, switched out with his pressure. He did a really good job defensively.
Winborn with it, kicks it right side, and they get it inside to Holdeman. Jackson leads by 3, 40-37, 5 minutes to go in the ball game. We've got a timeout by Coach Toma for the Indians. I believe that's going to be a full timeout. So we'll take a 30-second break. It's Jackson 40, Cape Central 37. We'll be back here at 30 seconds on the Aycorp Media Networks.
Juju Promotions in New Madrid is your one-stop shop for all your personalized merchandise. Whether it's screen printing, embroidery, promotional products, heat presses, or decals, we've got something that will suit your needs. So you, your school, or your business will always be looking its best. There's tons to see, from apparel to accessories. So what are you waiting for? Stop into Juju Promotions today in New Madrid, Missouri. And don't forget to like us on Facebook.
We are back at Jackson High School. Jackson 40, Cape Central 37, 5:04 to go here in the ball game. And the Indians, 4 fouls on Clayton Ernst, 4 on Gavin Holdeman, and I believe Clayton Ernst has come back. We were talking in the break about him needing to be back in probably, and Clayton Ernst is back in the ball game for the Indians.
Yeah, that's a tough call because you can go either way. Well, if I put him in now and he fouls, that's bad, but the way the game's flowing right now, I feel like if they'll get him back in the game, Cameron Williams is going to keep scoring. And you're going to have to outscore him down the stretch and and it's going to be tough to get stops without Clayton in the game. He's going to have to play smart as a senior.
So Jackson with the basketball and a 3-point lead. Left side, a steal by the Tigers. Ahead to Murray. Left-handed dribble, hesitation, and he kicks it right side to Williams, and he gets it back. He'll take the three. Short, no good. Rebound loose, taken down by Edwards. Into the corner, and Edwards gets it back.
All of a sudden, Cape's found a way to get to some loose balls and track down some offensive rebounds, which has been huge for him in this half.
Yeah, that's really changed from the first half, I think.
Yes.
That's been a big difference. Williams with it. May have missed a chance to drive to the basket there.
He did.
Williams with it. Gives it off to Cam Williams. And he steps out of bounds, but that's going to be a push on Ernst, and that's going to be his 5th. And just what you said, that's the sort of you roll the dice a little bit about, and that's not the kind of foul you want to get right there.
No, it's not. You're going to have to get one that's because you were trying to be straight up, making him make a shot, making him score over your length. That was not the foul that he would like to get there.
Because really, Cam Williams that time, he was so far under the basket, he really didn't have any place to go very much, right?
No, I feel like in the help side was going to be there. He didn't have a chance to reverse it because, he was so far deep. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
So Williams will shoot 2 free throws. Coach Thoma's going to take the time he's allotted to put a player in so he can have a little discussion with his players about how they want to defend now. And you've got to believe that Cape Central will say, we're going to feed the beast inside to Cameron Williams on offense.
Or at least we're going to take what they give us off of that. You know, if they've got 2 white shirts and they double, now he's going to get the ball to the right guy and attack and get to the rim. And it also allows Cape to crash the glass a little bit more.
Misses the free throw. That's the one place he struggled a little bit tonight. Cape Central 10 of 15 now from the free throw line. They still trail by 3, 40-37. Williams is second. This time nothing but net. So 2-point game, 40-38.
Well, we might be surprised how we got here, but we're not really surprised with 4 minutes to go in a 2-point game.
Exactly right. Yeah, not the way we thought we'd get here, but you're exactly right. Schneider with the basketball. He's going to take it to the basket. He's going to be fouled, hooked there, and he will go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1, I believe.
Yeah, really good job attacking. I felt like he got his hands on him before he drove it, and then he went to drive it, and then a little contact. Kind of, when you put your hands on him, it just kind of tells the official, watch me, I'm getting ready to foul.
Schneider's done a really good job of being aggressive tonight and getting the ball to the basket. For being 6 foot with the big guys in there, he's done a nice job.
Yeah, he's strong and athletic, and from the games I've watched, they really, if he could play like this, just kind of this free with a little bit of confidence, that really makes them a much better offensive team.
The Cape Central player said it hit the standard and do not believe it did. That free throw bounced very high and then went back down. They'll have a second. Schneider's got 12, and Jackson opens up a 4-point lead, 42-38. Murray with it for the Tigers. Central has beaten Jackson twice already this year. Edwards going to take it to the basket. He's going to go up left-handed, up and good. Just took Judd Tolman to the basket that time and got the hoop to go.
Yeah, went through some contact, went up and finished with his left hand. That was a really good finish.
Tolman with it. No, not Schneider with it. Up off the glass and good. Steven Schneider just playing a great game for the Indians. Inside to Williams, cut off nicely by Holdman, up and good though. Good spin move by Cam Williams. And it's a 2-point game. Schneider splits the defense. Nice kickoff inside to Toma, gets it blocked. It's loose, still loose, and taken away by Edwards. Kicks it inside, up and blocked, no good, but there'll be a foul and they'll go to the line to shoot 2 free throws to try to tie it up. Central down as much as 16, Darren, and all of a sudden, 2 free throws could tie it up right here.
Yeah, and they just really increased. All of a sudden, it's like they came to life. Defensively, they're much more active. That was a great block by Edwards there, coming from the weak side. Then they found a way to come up with the ball and did a good job getting out quick in transition and then getting to the rim.
You think Coach Church is pretty excited about having Edwards and Murray both for 3 more years?
I got to be honest. At this point, I mean, I watched him play a little bit, saw him play, and I thought he's doing a good job.
Right.
But man, tonight, this is like, I don't know if it's a coming out party, but man, he has played extremely well. and he's left-handed. And it doesn't matter what you say. You can talk to the kids that he's left-handed. Hey, he likes to go left. He finishes with left hand. And it's like, because it doesn't happen very often, it's like they just cannot remember. It's just like they have a little advantage. I feel like left-handers always have an advantage in high school basketball because they can get to that left hand, and it's so odd compared to everybody else.
Yep, I would absolutely agree with that. Jaden Reynolds has 10 on the night and has 2 free throws here to try to tie the ball game up with 2:57 to go.
Yeah, and he's another one. The second half, I felt like all of a sudden the second half, I'm going to hunt my shot. I'm going to be aggressive offensively.
Misses the first one. 11-17 now for the line for the Tigers. Braden Tolman checked in for Winborn. Missed them both. Rebound by Schneider. He'll bring it up for the Tigers. He gets double teamed up top. They get it off though to Toma. Harris for 3. First good look in a while. It's short, no good, but it's rebounded by Schneider once again. Judd Toma for 3. Long, no good. Tipped. Williams comes away with it. Chance for the Tigers to tie once again. Murray with it. Right corner. Tough catch, but it is made. They get it back out to Cam Williams now. They'll reset some offense. .223 and counting. Central in the double bonus. They'll shoot 2 if they get fouled. Jackson in the single bonus. They'll be in the 1-and-1. Trying to post up to Williams. They double team him and can't do it. They kick it back out to Edwards. Murray with it. This time they get it to Williams at about 15 feet. Cross court, tough catch by Williams, but he makes it. Up top once again to Edwards. He's guarded out there by Holdman. Judd Toma on Williams. Edwards wants to clear out. He does get cleared out and makes the basket down the baseline with that left hand you were talking about.
Well, and he basically said, guys, I really want to go to the basket. Can you guys all move to the other side of the floor, and I'm going to go drive it.
He did. He flat cleared everybody out, didn't he?
He did. And he waited patiently.
Yep.
He started to go, nope, they're not cleared out. Waited for him to clear out, and then went. They cut him off, and then boom, great move getting back to the rim.
Murray picks up the 3rd foul there, and that will send Braden Tolman the line to shoot a 1-and-1, and we're going to have a timeout here with 1:30 to go in the ball game. Well, I think we're going to keep it right here with a tie game. Okay. You're the old coach now. What are both coaches saying here? You're tied at 44. Jackson shooting a 1-and-1. What are you both saying?
Well, at this point, Jackson's like, if we make these free throws, we're up 2. And you're coming down, and I know they're kind of, how are we going to get a stop? We're kind of got a mismatch now with Cameron in the game. We're struggling to keep the lefty. I'd say there's a good chance they're talking about, hey, if we're up, then we want to try a zone. Like maybe. Now the downside if you go zone is, well, now can we rebound? Now, can we do it well enough so that we get the shot we want, but then now they get a stick back. And for Cape, I think what they're talking about is just know the score here. And, if they miss and we're up and we come down, there's no reason to rush. Be patient, make sure we get the shot we want. Time and score. Jackson's got 1 timeout left. Cape's got 4. So from a timeout standpoint, making sure your guys know, hey, what we've got timeout-wise, where we're at on the fouls. One big thing right now is Cape, they get 2 shots on a foul on the floor. Jackson gets a 1-on-1 here for 1 more time at least. And sometimes it doesn't matter, but if you miss that first one, it's huge.
Sure, absolutely. And it will be Braden Tolman to shoot that 1-and-1 for the Indians. We're tied at 44 with 1.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Discussion at the scorer's table here.
Got some discussion here.
Yep.
I feel like they were talking about timeouts.
I believe that's exactly what they were talking about. You're right. So Tolman to shoot the 1-and-1. Free throw up and off the mark, no good. Williams with the rebound. We're tied at 44. As you said, Central can play the pace they want to play with the tie game. Reynolds up top with it, puts it on the floor. Nothing there, kicks it off to Murray. Reynolds will take the 3. Good! Jaden Reynolds with a huge 3, 47-44 Cape.
Now I'm going to go out on a limb, and I know Coach has no problem letting the players play, but that's probably not exactly the shot he had pictured in his mind. But once again, it's like I told you. You could see it in Reynolds' eyes that third quarter, even going into that fourth. He decided, like, I'm going to make some plays. I want the ball in my hands, and that's a contributor right there. He was wanting to take that shot.
Do you think that's one of those coaches saying, no, good shot?
It's
right?
like, I mean, the only thing, Lane Crowden, his senior year, we were playing Sykes, and it was tied, and I drew up a play, and I drew up a play like as a decoy, he would get it, but I want him to drive it. Well, he catches it like 2 feet behind the line and just lets it fly. It goes in. And it's one of those, like, I do believe this in coaching, like you can draw up the best play you want. You can be perfectly X and O, whatever you want. But still, the players they got to believe and they got to make plays. And sometimes the player believing he's going to make a play means a lot more than the coach drawing up the right play.
Right. And that's one of those, I think, just like you said, Reynolds felt, I'm going to make this if I shoot it, you know.
And if you do that, if you take that shot and make it, it's a big shot.
Absolutely.
And now you got a 3-point lead.
Right.
Now Jackson's got some pressure. Now, you know, if you hit a 3 and tie it, great. But if you score, now you're down 1. So it puts a lot of pressure on it, being down 3.
Yeah, so Blaine Harris, of course, a 3-point shooter for them. Who else would you say from Jackson would be your next choice, probably?
I would say if I was Jackson, I mean, if you had a 3, great, I would take it. But at this point, I would not want to just force a 3. I just want to make sure we get a good look and we score. And now we foul them. You know, Cape's, 11 for 17 from the free throw line. They've not shot it well. So, you know, you've got a chance. And if they, you know, you're still in the game.
Central in there, man-to-man. Snyder with it, gets double teamed in the lane, loses it, taken away by Murray. He comes down the lane, he kicks it off, up and no good, but he'll go to the line. That is Jadon Reynolds again. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. You've got to give Cape Central a lot of credit here. Down 16 in the third quarter, they just slowly and steadily cut away at it.
Yeah, and a couple of things that stick out that second half that we talked about in the first half. They've been the defensive aggressor in the second half. They've forced some things. Offensive rebounds, they've gotten stickbacks, they've gotten second shots, and those things are huge. That's what's turned around the game, I believe, for him.
Gavin Holdman, that was his 5th foul, so he'll be out. So now if Central gets the ball, once again, they'll be able to probably feed down low to Cameron Williams if they need to have a basket.
They do, and I would say, you know, it depends on if that's not been a given tonight, obviously making free throws, but knowing what the time and score is. So at this point right here, you know, if he makes a free throw, so it's a 2-possession game, Central knows when we get the ball back, we are winning. So now it's going to be a free throw, not turn it over game.
And for a team that go undefeated, Coach, they have to have some games where they play crummy and win. Yeah. I mean, not play at the best they can play and win, I would think, you know.
Well, we talked a lot about as a team. I mean, everybody, like all teams, when you play well, you can be good and great, but like when you play bad, can you find ways to still get stuff done? And when I say play bad, you know, we didn't shoot it as well as we like.
Right.
We don't make some free throws. Can we gut one out? You know, can we do different things to win the game?
1 of 2 for Reynolds. Central by 4, 48-44, 46 seconds to go. This has been a good one. Snyder with it up top. Picks up his dribble, kicks it off to Winborn. Jackson's got to find a basket here fairly quickly with 35 seconds to go. They give it off to Harris for 3. Off the mark, no good. Rebound taken down by Williams. He kicks it out to Murray. Gets it ahead to Cam Williams, who runs it down, and he'll be fouled there. They're asking for an intentional.
I hope they don't call that intentional, only because sometimes they make it tough. A kid's trying to foul, you don't call it, then they foul a little bit more.
Yeah. Then they did not call it intentional, so Williams will shoot 2. That was on Winborn, his 3rd. Team foul, well, they're at 10 already. So Cam Williams, who's got 15 on the night, 15 for him, 14 for Jaden Reynolds, and 14 for Ty Edwards. Williams makes it 16 and gives the Tigers a 5-point lead. He'll have a second. Up and rims in good. Timeout by Cape Central as they'll discuss what they want to do up 6.
Well, at this point right here, Jackson's only got 1 timeout left, so they can score and stop the clock here. But basically, the big thing is you don't want to give up a wide open 3. And dear Lord, please don't foul and stop the clock. Let the clock run. Make them call their last timeout to stop the clock.
Yeah, because that's a great point. The worst thing you could do right here, almost worse than giving up a layup, is to foul somebody and stop the clock and let them make points while it's.
Yeah, I think it'd be better to give up a layup than to foul.
Right.
You know, and then the other thing, talking to your guys, just knowing, all right, so they score, whatever it is, we have the ball, we take it out, we have 2 timeouts left. You take it out of bounds, you got count in your head 1,000. 2, you get to about 3 and nobody's wide open, call timeout. You got plenty of time. Another thing they may be talking about, which is kind of big, but some like right now, Cape Central has the jump ball. So now if I have the ball and I know I'm getting ready to get tied up, you do not need to call a timeout. You can let them tie it up. Now it's still our ball. Don't force it. Don't freak out. Try to get it out of your hands when you think you got some pressure and you're going to get tied up. A jump ball now is still our ball, and we have 2 timeouts.
That's a great point I had never really thought about, but the fact of, hey, it is ours, and you don't have to waste that timeout out of here because we still get it back. That's a great point.
Those are things coaches lay in bed at night thinking about.
I'm
like
sure.
When you do it for, you're like, what's the one way I can give my team just one more possession in this game?
I'm sure that's right. Inbounds to Winborn. Jackson needs to score relatively quickly. Snyder puts up a 3. Good! Steven Snyder for 3-point game. Jackson will take that last time out like Darren talked about. 3-point game as Steven Snyder with 17 points has just been a spark plug for the Indians.
Yeah, well, and what that shot does right there is now it does put some pressure on Cape. So now 2 things have to happen. You got to get it in bounds, number 1, without turning it over. Then number 2, we're going to get fouled, but you got to make 1 free throw.
Right, 2-possession game then,
right? 2-possession game. Because basically right now where it's at, if they get it in, let's say 15 seconds, they foul. All right, you go down and make 1 free throw. Well, now Jackson has no timeouts. Well, so now let's say you even score with 8 seconds left. Well, by the time the official counts, if you just don't go pick it up and you walk slow, it's probably going to get to 5 seconds.
Right.
And the game's over.
Right.
You know, your kids got to know, like, the other team scores and you're up by more than 1 possession. You don't go pick that thing up quick and start the 5-second count. Go slow, walk over, pick it up slow, and then now what you've got is the game's over and there's nothing anybody can do about it.
So Central with the ball. I'm sure they'd like to get it in the hands of someone they feel comfortable will make 1 of 2. But first they've just got to get it in bounds. And they do to Williams. They get it off, and it will be a foul on, will send Mateo Rivers just in the ball game to the line, which tells me they think he's a pretty good free throw shooter, I'm guessing.
Well, I think that you got to throw it to somebody. And in those situations, I've seen kids turn it over because the guy who wants to shoot the free throw holds on to it. And like it looked to me, they were not going to foul Cam. We're going to try to, hey, we'll take 3 seconds and get it out of his hands and then foul somebody else, if that makes sense.
Sure. Misses the first. As you said, needed 1 of 2 here as they had 2 coming to give themselves a chance.
Big free throw here, obviously.
Made the second.
That was big.
2-possession game, 15 seconds. Clock is running. Winborn gets it knocked away, but gets it back. Kicks it off to Snyder. He puts up a long 3. It's an not quite an air ball. No good. Rebound by Central with 4 seconds left. We'll have a jump ball that belongs to Central. And 4 seconds and 2 possessions. They just really have to get it in bounds here pretty much.
Yeah.
And they do to Williams, and he gets fouled. And that's certainly a nice spot to have a 6'8" kid, isn't it?
It is. When you were talking about, like, who do you want to get it into, kind of is important, like in that situation, the one before. But probably more important is, how can we get it in?
Right.
And so you put Cam up there, so now you got a guy who has good hands, is 6'8", so now we have that option that he cuts and he's kind of open. Well, I could throw it up high, and he is open for sure.
Right. He'll shoot 2 free throws here with 3 seconds to go and a 4-point lead. Central was down by as much as 16 in the 3rd quarter and has come back here. Williams with the free throw. He has 18 now on the night. Central 15 to 25 from the free throw line. Jackson 7 of 10. They'll have a second. Free throw up and makes them both. 53-47 with 3 seconds. 2-1, a long 3 at the buzzer. Off the mark. That's a final. Cape Central finds a way to stay undefeated with a 53-47 win here. They go to 18-0. Jackson drops to 12-5 on the season. A dandy ball game, though, Darren.
It was. And I think for both teams, they're going to find something out, learn something from that game. For Jackson, I know the last couple games they've struggled to score a little bit. up when they're up in St. Louis.
Right.
Tonight, positives for them is Steven Schneider played really well offensively.
Right.
If he can play if he gives them another threat to put on the floor, knock down a 3 and score, I think that's huge for them. And then on Cape's side, I guess somebody would be like, well, they probably like to come in and dominate and win by 20, but I don't know that would have made him any better. I felt like tonight, they got challenged, went into a hostile environment, was down. Your freshman goes out early, and then you find a way to come back and win. That's a huge win for them.
Some quick stats here for the Indians. They shot 32% on the night, 18 of 56. Scoring went like this. Winborn was 6, Borgfield with 2, Snyder with 17, 6 for Judd Toma. Blaine Harris with 14, 9 early in the ballgame. They were very big. And maybe the most surprising stat, 2 for Clayton Ernst, and that is a telling stat, I believe.
Yeah, and it was tough for him to get much offensive rhythm. He got those 2 fouls early, and then he was out for a while. Then he played a little bit, got his 3rd foul, and then he got 4, and then even he was in 1 possession and got that 5th foul.
Right.
So, he's got to find a way to just not get in that foul trouble, and I feel like going back to early, Cape was not good offensively early, but they did try to cram the ball inside, try to get into Cam, and they did get him 2 fouls on Clayton, which I do think at that point didn't help him, but in the 4th quarter it paid dividends.
Absolutely right. 4 of 20 from the 3-point line for the Indians in that. For the Cape Central Tigers, they shot 41% in total. 4 of 12 from the 3-point line, only 17 of 27, 63% from the free throw line. They'd probably like to do a little better than that. 1 for Mateo Rivers, a big free throw late in the game. 2 for Maurice Boyd. 14 for Edwards, Ty Edwards, who had a great game. 14 for Jaden Reynolds. 19 for Cam Williams. 3 for LaTroy McIntosh. And Ty Edwards really, to me, like you said, was sort of a coming out party for him tonight. I thought he played a whale of a game.
I did. Well, 2 things stick out. One, what you just said, Ty Edwards tonight, man, if you're scouting them and you were thinking, well, we got to stop Cam Williams, we got the freshman, Quell, we got to guard him. Well, you're going to leave away tonight, but man, we got to be ready to stop that lefty. And then the other thing I think is kind of big for Cape, we just talked about Cam struggled early, couldn't get anything going. To end up with 19 points on the night, it tells you how well he played in the second half for him.
Yeah, 5 of 13 shooting, but he did go 9 of 13 from the free throw line. And we talked about Edwards, 6 of 8 from the field there. Any final thoughts?
No, just a great atmosphere, great game. Man, I thought the kids played really hard. That was just a great game to watch.
It was. It was a really good high school game. We'll be back on the air Monday night from the Dexter High School gym, not the Bearcat Event Center, but the high school gym, as the Dexter Lady Bearcats will be hosting the Doniphan Donettes. Doniphan only with 1 loss so far this season. Should be a good game. Hope you'll join us there. And then next Friday night, we'll have the JV and varsity finals of the Stoddard County Association tournament from Dexter, and that'll be next Friday night starting around 7 p.m. But about 6:30 or so on Monday night from the high school gym in Dexter for the Dexter Lady Cats and the Doniphan Donettes. Tonight, it was Cape Central on a big comeback, 53, Jackson 47. For Darren Scott, this is Jim Riker saying good night from Jackson, Missouri.